Hey guys, so today I'm going to be doing an overall product review of the new brand Believe Beauty that is sold at Dollar General. Everything in this line is $5 or less, and I'm going to tell you right off the bat that I am very impressed with this brand overall. I'm going to tell you what I like about it, what I don't like about it. I'm going to give you sort of mini reviews of most of the products. I was not able to get my hands on one product that I really wanted to. That slot was just empty in the display. And by the way, if you haven't seen this yet at your Dollar General, it is coming. It's just the older established stores seem to be taking their time setting up this display. I know a lot of people are getting frustrated because they can't find it. I was fortunate enough to go to the grand opening of a brand new store, and when I went there, they had the display, but it was empty. So I was disappointed too. And then I called a few days later and I said, have you guys had a chance to stock the Believe Beauty display? And they said, yes. So I went back and then it was all set up. But there was one item that I wanted to try that I wasn't able to get. That slot was empty. Well, it was empty for the color that I wanted. And that was the brow styling gel. I wanted to pick that up in the shade light brown, and for whatever reason, they had the clear and the dark brown, and the light brown one was empty. And I don't think that there was like a mad rush on that or anything. Maybe they just didn't get that particular shade in for whatever reason. So I wasn't able to get that. And then I also did not buy any of the blushes because there was only one blush that I felt that I wanted, but I already have like a million blushes just like it. So I thought that would be kind of redundant. And then I didn't buy any of the contouring bronzing products because they were really warm. And there just wasn't anything in the line that would suit my skin tone. And rather than buy it and have it look bad on me, I decided to just pass altogether on the blushes and contour bronzer products. So I think I have something from everything else though. They had some packages of cleansing wipes in different scents and formulas. I didn't get any of those either. Alright, so let's get started. I'm going to show you everything in the order in which I would apply it to my face. And I didn't buy every single color from every single category, but the things that I liked, I went back and bought more of. So I will explain that as I go along. All right. The first thing I'm going to show you is a primer. They have several, I think three. I think they have 3 different primers to choose from, which that's wonderful. I bought the Hydrating Primer, which is the one in the blue container. And I like this a lot. It works well underneath foundations. I've experimented with it a little bit. It is hydrating and it does make the foundation go on a little bit nicer. And depending on how much you use, it will thin out the foundation, or if you just use a small amount of this, then your foundation will go on heavier. So it, works depending on how much of it you use. But I do like this. It's not as hydrating as the primer that I normally use, which is the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. But I think this is actually a better summer primer than the e.l.f. one, because the e.l.f. one is really heavy and thick, and it might be too much for summer. So this is actually a better option, I think, for summer. And then I bought a bottle of the foundation. This is the shade Nude. This is what I'm wearing right now. And I thought that this was a little bit too dark and too warm. So I actually went out and bought another bottle in the shade Porcelain. But this one I feel like is too light. It it just is too light. So I'm sticking with the shade Nude. I thought about buying the other shade that was in between, which was called Ivory, but This one seems to work okay. And, you know, as summer goes on and I get a little bit darker, this may end up being perfect. Now, it's too warm for me. It's very yellow, but I can sort of adjust that and get around it by using the powder that I set my foundation with is literally pink. Um, This is from Primark. This is their rose powder, and it is pink. So by setting my foundation with this, I can sort of alter the super yellowness of the tone of the shade Nude. That would be a criticism for me, would be the whole line of foundations is really warm, and there isn't anything to suit people who are cool toned or even neutral for that matter. Everything just leans really warm. So keep that in mind. If you don't have access to something like this, you may not be able to alter the tone of it. But the color range is pretty nice though. You know, they have like real light shades, real dark shades. How many shades are there in the line? I think there's, I want to say 12. Don't quote me on that, but I think there's 12. But yeah, there's a nice range of shades, but unfortunately they are all very warm. Now, as far as the formula of the foundation itself, this is medium to full coverage. And I also bought the foundation brush. The foundation brush is beautiful to look at, performs fantastic. I do get a little bit of staining. This is not clean right now, though. I just used it to put on the foundation. But I do get a little bit of staining, so you may need to switch to a more powerful cleanser for whatever you clean your brushes with. That's no big deal. I don't mind doing that. But I really, really like the foundation brush. And in my opinion, this is a dupe for the It Cosmetics from Ulta, the blurring foundation brush. This is $24. This is $5. So if you've always had your eye on this but didn't want to spend $24, to me they are very, very similar. So take from that what you will. So the foundation, yeah, it can be built up to full coverage and it doesn't get cakey and it blends really well, and that's why I went out and bought a second shade, because I like the foundation so much. It blends like a dream, and if you feel like it's a little bit too thick, then just use a little bit more primer with it and that will sheer it out just a little bit. Okay, concealers. I am madly in love with the concealer that I've been using, which is actually a corrector. And I think because of that, I was a little disappointed with the concealers. First of all, they do have a corrector, and I bought the shade Peach, which is the one for light to medium. And this, believe it or not, is just a little bit too dark for me. Let me show you the one that I normally use. This is the one that I normally use, which is an even lighter shade of peach. This is LA Colors Soothing Face Primer, Color Corrector in Peach, but really this is for, you know, under your eyes. I can't imagine putting this all over your whole face, so I would say this is more of an eye corrector concealer. But anyways, yeah, this is a little bit too dark for me, and I don't like that it's so thick, but that's the way correctors normally are. This one is very thin, but they normally are thick. So I didn't really care for that because of the color and the formula. And then I did buy the concealer, which is called Your Covered Liquid Concealer. I bought it in the shade Fair. The color worked okay for me, but again, this is a very heavy concealer. Too heavy, I feel like, to put under your eyes, but it does what it's supposed to do and it does work well. It's just like I said, I really love this, and this is all I use normally. So what this would be good for, though, would be covering imperfections. If you have acne or discoloration or something, you could use it for that, because this would not cover like a blemish. So it might be nice to have something like this for that purpose. Okay, so I didn't get a contour, a bronzer, or a blush, but I did get a highlighter. And this is in the shade Pop of Pink. And I know it doesn't look pink on camera, but if you want to see what this really looks like, go to my social media accounts, and on Instagram, you will see what this looks like swatched in different lighting. And it is really, really pretty. I have it on right now, and I know because of the lighting, you can't really see the true color of this. But I love this. This shade is quite unique in my collection. It's like a beige with pink in it. It's really pretty, and it combines tones. It's like warm and cool at the same time. It's a real standout to me. This was the only highlighter that I bought. And then let's move on to eyeshadows. They have eyeshadow palettes. I bought 3 out of the 4 because eyeshadows are my weakness, and I love playing with eyeshadows. So the formula on these are very, they have almost like a wet feel to them. And because of that, the first time that I used it, I didn't use an eyeshadow primer underneath it. But I feel like they blend and work better if you use an eyeshadow primer. So don't be thrown off by that. So I just went back to using my eyeshadow primer like I normally would. Today I have on the one called Nearly Nude. And that's what this looks like. And this shade right here and this shade are the 2 mattes, and then the others are shimmers. So because of that, I actually used a couple of shades from the eyebrow palette in conjunction with it, just so that I wouldn't be using only this dark shade. I felt like I needed something lighter that was matte to blend with that. So that's my only criticism of that, is it would have been nice to have another matte shade to use, like maybe as a transition shade or something. But yeah, they're very, very pretty. The shimmers really catch the light. And I decided to wear this palette today because I thought a lot of you would be interested in the nude palette. So I do like that. Then there is a palette called Plush Purples. If you have warm toned skin, you would probably love this. But these shades of purple do not look good on me. And you might be thinking, well, what about that one? That's a cooler purple right there. Something weird happens with these palettes as you use them. Once you get past the surface, the shadows get darker in color as you go deeper. And I don't really like that about them. I wish that the colors stayed true throughout. But yeah, just be aware that that is something that happens with these. But I wore this one day and it did not look good on me at all. The colors just, it looked like I had been punched in the eyes. You know, the colors just aren't complimentary on me. But if you have warm toned skin, I think it would be really pretty. It's just, you know, with me, like if you look at this, I look from the nude palette, some of you might think it doesn't look good because of the same reason why I think the purple one doesn't. But some people do like warm shadows on cool skin. They think it makes your eyes pop, which it kind of does. But so it's complimentary in one way, but not complimentary in another way. Anyway, the other palette that I bought is called Into the Blue. And this one is more suited to my skin tone. But again, something weird happens with these shadows. Can you see in the center where it's actually darker, where I put my brush or I put my finger to do a swatch? And you should know that this shade right here is actually brown and blue duochrome. So that's really different. But this one looks the best on me out of the three. And then I didn't get the fourth one because it was all shimmers, no mattes in the palette, and it was more of a glitter finish than a shimmer. I may pick that up at some point. It's called Golden Disco. And yeah, I might get that eventually, but I wasn't in a mad rush to get it because I figured, you know, 3 out of 4 palettes was pretty good. Then they have a cream to powder eyeshadow in pots called Glimmer Pots Gel to Powder Eyeshadow. I started off getting the taupe one called Dahlia, and that is exactly what it is. It's a cream to powder formula, and they have screw tops. These don't have safety seals on them when you buy them though, so you're going to have to try to ascertain whether or not it's been swatched, which is not always easy. I also bought pink quartz, which is like a rose gold. And again, it's not showing up on camera, but this is a rose gold. In real life, this is more orangey and less pink, and it's got gold shimmer mixed into it, but it's a very finely milled shimmer. It's really pretty. It's a real true rose gold in real life. And then I got Girl Talk, which is a bronze, and in real life this is a much deeper bronze than what it's showing up on camera. Okay, my opinion about these is they're gorgeous in the pot, and the color range is very pretty. There are other colors to pick from as well. I think there might be 5 more shades, or 4 or 5 more shades. And the thing with these is they go on much lighter and more subtle and natural than they appear in the pots. So you can build this and build this and build this, and it's never going to be the shade that you see in the pot. These would be good, I feel, for an everyday look for school or the office, and it gives you like a hint of color, but it's never too much. But when I do this for like a video on YouTube, you're not going to be able to see it that well. You know, I just found a little piece of tape on the side of one of these, so it looks like they do have safety seals on them. So maybe when I bought them, they had been opened and I just didn't see the tape. I don't know. I'm not sure now. But anyways, yeah, those eyeshadows are very nice, but they're very, very subtle. Okay, mascara. I started off with this one, which is the Extended Lash Lengthening Mascara. And it was okay, but the formula is very dry, and I don't like dry mascaras. So you can build this and build this and build this and get your lashes to look nice, but I don't really like to work that hard with my mascaras, so I like a wet formula. And so personal preference, I'm not impressed with this. I didn't really like it that much, so I thought, okay, try one of the others. So I went back and I got the High Definition Skinny Mascara. So it's just one of those really, really skinny wands. And this is a little bit wetter of a formula. So I do like this better. And this is what I have on right now. Let me look up so you can see my lashes. But this is still not as wet as what I like. But it's better than the other one. So I know mascara is very much a matter of personal preference. You know, different people like different things as far as formulas and brushes and what they want their mascara to do. I want my mascara to lengthen and volumize. And I do curl my lashes with a curler, but I don't really care that much about holding a curl and all that. But again, you know, personal preference. So neither one of these mascaras really works the way I would like it to. So I'm not real happy with the mascaras. I bought one of the eyeliners, and this is the Long Lasting Eyeliner in So Slate. So this is a gray twist up. Nice. Not the greatest eyeliner I've ever used, but it does what it's supposed to do. I would say this is, I'm going to say it's just okay, because I have other eyeliners that I like better. The formula is good, and it is long lasting, and it stays put, and it doesn't irritate my eyes. But I feel like it could be a tiny bit more smooth. And the tip of it could be a little bit more narrow so that you can really get like in where you want. Today I have on a gel eyeliner. I don't have this on because this would look horrible with the eyeshadow palette that I used. But it's pretty good. But I feel like there are better eyeliners out there. This is the eyeshadow. No, it isn't. It's the brow palette. I love, love, love this, you guys. It's what I use to do my brows today. You get this little tiny brush and spoolie, which most people chuck things like this when they get it and just use a regular full-size brush. Don't do that, because this is actually very good. And for travel purposes, it would be really nice to have this to just keep in the palette if you were traveling. But the quality on this brush is excellent, so don't throw this out. You might really like it. It's too bad that they don't have a full-size one like this in their line. Speaking of which, there are also a couple of eyeshadow brushes that I did not buy or try, so I don't know how those are. Just wanted to mention that. So you get 3 powder brow products, and then you get a wax. This is the wax. And I kind of played around with different ways of using the wax, and I'm not really a wax person, but that's because I keep my brow hairs shorter, so I don't need any wax really to hold them in place because they're shorter. But this is the one that I use to do my brows, and it's just a little bit darker than I would like it to be, but the tone is great for me, because this right here that you're looking at, that's hair dye. So once that's grown out and my hair is just gray, white, whatever you want to call that color, this is a nice cool tone brow product that isn't that far off from what my brows really are. So yeah, and it goes on really smooth. It's so easy to work with. Really, really impressed with this. So what I did today was I took the warmer ones and I used those as eyeshadows to blend with the eyeshadow palette, because they're, you know, both matte, warm tone, nude eyeshadows. So that way I can get more use out of the palette. But this is really, really nice. I just remembered there is one more product I need to grab. Okay, I bought one of the I bought one of the brow pencils, and I got the shade Ash Brown, and this is way, way too dark for me. But I used it one day anyway to try out the formula, and I feel like the formula is a little bit too moist. That's the best way that I can describe it. And I feel like the tip is okay now because it's new, but as time goes on and this gets thicker and wears down, I can see that being a problem. Now, it's not a twist up. It does have a full-size spoolie on the end, which I do like that spoolie, but I feel like they might have been better off with a twist up, because this formula, I can see that's a really thick plastic, and I don't know how easy that would be to sharpen over time. But yeah, this is a really dark brown. So if you have cool tone brows, but they're a darker brown in color, you might like this. I don't know, but I like the brow palette. I love this, and this I can see some problems, potential problems with this. Okay, lip liners. I really like the formula of the lip liners, you guys. So much so that I bought one, used it, went back and got 2 more. Today I am wearing the one called Barely There, and I just lined my lips with it. I didn't fill them in. But these are just, they're twist ups. Really nice formula, you guys. Gives you the definition that you want on your lips. I have also filled in my lips one day with them, and the lipsticks went on fine over them, and just gives you a little bit more staying power if you do it that way. But this is a nice formula. So I got Barely There, which is the nude. And I have Hint of Plum, which is the plum, obviously. And I got Almost Rose. This was the first one that I bought. So this is like a, you know, a rose pink. I can hear you out there screaming, swatch it, swatch it. Obviously, I mean, look at the time on this video, so I wasn't able to do swatches of everything, but so the rose, yeah, this formula is fantastic. The plum, and the nude. And there are other shades too. There's a red, there's a, off the top of my head now, I can't really remember what the others are, but I think there's 3 other lip liner colors to choose from. Okay, next. This is the Satin Crush lipstick. This is something special, you guys. Out of the whole line, I think the lipsticks, the lip products in general, are the standouts. If you don't buy anything else from this line, the brow palette is phenomenal, and all the lip products are phenomenal. The lip liners, the lipsticks, the lip gloss. So the Satin Crush lipsticks, I bought 1, went back, and got 3 more. The one that I'm wearing is Moroccan Spice. And if you want to see more pictures and swatches of these, go to my Instagram or Twitter, and they're there in better lighting. So this is what I'm wearing. I figured, you know, I'd wear the nude one with the nude eyeshadow palette, because a lot of people are into nudes. So that's Moroccan Spice. This one I think might be my favorite. This is Vintage Romance, which is like a mauve. Gorgeous. The formula on these is so perfect, you guys. It goes on beautifully. It stays. It just blends so well. They're not drying, but they're not too wet either. Oh, and the packaging is beautiful. This is Soft Rose. I think this was the first one that I bought. I love this too. I don't know. Vintage Romance and Soft Rose, I think, are kind of tied for first place with me. This is Plum Royal. This is a beautiful deep plum. And there's a red. There's what are the other shades? I can't even remember, but you know, go on the website, check them out. I bought one of the glosses. This is the Lustrous Shine Lip Gloss. And oh, the shade is Tropical Punch. And I bought this because it was kind of, you know, different compared to lip gloss colors that you normally see. This layered over the vintage rose. Oh, so pretty. I'll wear it in a video sometime so you can see it. But oh, I'm not even a lip gloss person, you guys, but this formula is fantastic. It layers so beautifully over lipsticks. I tried this over another brand of lipstick too to see, and it was great. But yeah, isn't that pretty? So love that. And I also bought one of the liquid lipsticks, which I also forgot to grab. Actually, I have 3 of them. Okay, the liquid lipsticks are called Velvet Matte Liquid Lipstick. And these are awesome, you guys. They go on like a dream. They are not super drying on your lips, but they're not so moisturizing that they bleed. You can use a lip liner if you want and outline your lips for definition, but you don't need to because the formula is so good on these. They last a long, long time. They leave behind a slight stain on your lips, so when they completely wear off, you'll still have a little bit of color on your lips, but it's not going to be difficult to remove. What else? They don't crack or anything like that. It's not dry. This is a really, really great formula, you guys. I love it. It's one of the best liquid lipsticks that I've ever used. Okay, so I got Honey Blush, which is it's a pink. I got Mischief, which is a plum. And I got Foxy, which is a nude. And, you know, this is going to sound crazy, but if you want to, because I tried it and it worked, you can put the Satin Crush lipstick on and then layer one of these liquid lipsticks on top of that, and even that works. Because a lot of the colors seem to correspond with each other, so I just tried it for fun, and there weren't any problems from it. So yeah, they're both. This is one of the Satin Crush lipsticks, one of the best lipsticks I've ever tried, and the liquid lipsticks, one of the best liquid lipsticks I've ever used. And you guys know me. I have thousands, literally thousands of videos on YouTube. So I've tried a lot of lipsticks, and those are some of the best. So that's what I would say. I would say, you know, start off with maybe the brow palette and some of the lipsticks, and I'm sure that the other lip glosses are good too. I might pick some more of those up at some point. But, oh, and the foundation brush is very good. The foundation is excellent too. If you like a medium to full coverage foundation, I recommend that. The primer that I bought, I really like that too. So yeah, check out this brand. It's at Dollar General exclusively. It is nowhere else. It was made for Dollar General to sell at their stores. Everything in the line is $5 and under. It is well worth you seeking it out and picking some of these things up. Thanks so much for watching and joining me today, and I'll see you next time. Bye.